Welcome back. Segment 3 on the show tonight deals with the government's proposed move to bring in price control for patented drugs. Well, India has some of the lowest medicine prices in the world. These were controlled by various acts like FERA and MRTP and a shift from product to process patents. Post dsadsa, all of that has changed with the product patent regime back in place as per India's commitment to the WTO. The government now fears that this would bring a surge in prices of drugs. Well, the government, for its part, feels that in India, the doctor or the chemist has no incentive to be price sensitive. Controlling retail margins could push lower priced drugs out of the market. There is a feeling at times that higher the price, the better the quality of drug. The growth in size of India's middle class means there may not be a major resistance to price hike, all right? To prevent any major price hike in drug prices, the government proposes that all patented drugs be taken up for compulsory price negotiations to the grant of exclusive marketing rights. Also further, select drugs could be debranded so that the branding does not push up prices. Well, there's a problem here, and the problem is coming from the pharmaceutical industry. It strongly objects to these proposals, and it's not without reason. Well, they argue, for one, that drugs are patented post-research and development, and drug companies need to recover their R&D. Well, if governments want to regulate prices, then the point is who will do it, as the dsadsa, which is the authority, lacks sufficient people to do this. Historically, any drug brought under the price control leads to manufacturers moving out of those drugs. No wonder then that there is only one producer of anti-TB drugs in the country. Ironically, in India, TB is the biggest killer disease even today. Debranding is not a solution either. The chemists nor doctors are expected to remember the names of the salts that make up the drugs. Imagine having to shop for phenyramine maleate just because of evil. Well, then if preventing malpractices of marketing brands by doctors is the intention of debranding, then you will be shifting the onus onto the chemist, who can give thoughts as to which brand should be sold. Well, this certainly is not desirable, given that the chemist is not medically capable of taking these decisions and would be guided by purely considerations. All right, so let's discuss this issue threadbare, the government's proposed move to bring in a price control on patented drugs. Joining us now, a very special guest, Mr. Harinder Sikka. He's a senior president with Nicholas Piramal. Nice to see you on the program here on Headlines today. Well, most of these proposals made by this task force on bringing about some sort of price control on patented drugs. What do you make of it?
I think this year pharmaceutical industry should consider it as one of the worst years possible. We have, I'll start you from the basics, which is very important. We have a United States of which is going out of its way to protect its turf with new laws in which para 4 is protected. You cannot, even in that 80 days period, cannot really sell drugs on exclusivity basis. You have European Union which provides all kinds of SOPs to their R&D industry, mind-boggling SOPs.
Then you have an Indian government which is doing exactly the opposite.
Indian government which, instead of promoting its sunrise sector, was actually thrashing it down. First we had MRP-based excise duty, which really knelt a killing blow on us. We had this price monitoring business, price control business. In 1 month, 300 drugs prices have been brought down, and we do not know which way to look at. We have virtually no incentive. The R&D industry is looking blank when it comes to incentives. Just a 2 years window given to R&D industry. No incentive on taxes, no incentive whatsoever in various other aspects that a new upcoming industry would look.
Now, the government's justification for bringing in such a proposal is they feel once the product patent regime has come back, drug companies are pushing up prices artificially or are attempting to do so, and therefore they want to put in safeguards for that. Do you think that's a valid concern?
As you rightly said, we are cheapest in the world. We are cheaper than Pakistan. We are at par or cheaper than Bangladesh. Which way are 80 to 90% drugs are off-brand, already available in a huge manner in generic form. 97% drugs are off patent. Where is the possibility of a new drug, of a drug price going high? We need R&D. If you will go on increasing price control on me, I will not produce those drugs which are on your price control. I would shift my stance to areas which will give me some profitability, because today I'm bringing back home scientists from and I cannot control their price.
But let's look at this particular approval, denying marketing approval for patented drugs if the price negotiations are not able to reach a concurrence between the government and the drug company. Is there some sort of appellate body which can be approached, where if you have a dispute, you can go to
I would like to know who will bell this cat. Does the government have machinery? DCGI has only 3.5 set of people. Where is the competitive authority which can find out how much research? NPPA has no control over drugs which are manufactured overseas. NPPA cannot go into their industry, unlike us. It is virtually asking for the moon. There is a solution though. There's something called a differential pricing that the world is today talking about. That let a US company sell its, say, anti-cancer drug at an X price in US, where the market can afford it, and it should seek incentive enough to be able to sell it at a differential price, at a lower price, in markets which cannot afford those high prices. Provided there is no reverse drain of that into their country, those safeguards can be put.
All right, probably that is the answer, but I don't know if the government's listening. But anyway, thanks very much for joining us and giving us your thoughts, Harinder Sikka. All right, Mr. Harinder Sikka from Nicholas Piramal giving us his thoughts on this very, very controversial and very, very touchy issue. Well,